Grayhaven High School Future Prep, and we've been working for 6 weeks with Spectrum Health during the summer. So my name is Lauren Eslick, and I'm a junior at the high school.
My name's Brooke Whitaker, I'm a senior. My name's Tessa Corbett, and I'm a junior.
My name's Allie Eager, and I'm a senior.
My name is Grace Montgomery, and I'm a senior.
My name is Mitchell Kutzer, and I'm a sophomore.
My name is Tori Thompson, and I'm a senior.
So our direct question that we received was, how can Grayhaven Center's primary care patients better utilize the app MyChart? And for those who are not signed up for MyChart, how can we get more people to do that?
So first off, to start with a little bit of what MyChart is. MyChart is a patient portal system that they can have on their phones or on their laptops. It offers patients access to their own personal medical records, and it allows them to manage and receive information. For example, if you were to get your blood drawn here, your labs get dropped into your portal, so you can look at your results instead of having to call your doctor or waiting for your doctor to call to read the results back to you.
Of the 9,000 pediatric patients, 2,000 are active MyChart users, which is about 22%. Of the 25,000 family medicine patients, 6,000 have a MyChart, which is about 24%, and 2/3 of the 6,000 patients are active on the MyChart app.
Our process started on the first day. We met with Josh, who's the executive director, and Michelle, who's the communications specialist, and they just gave us an outlay of our driving question and MyChart. Throughout our 6 weeks, we have had mentor meetings with mentors who work in the building. We also underwent a lot of interviews with people from medical assistants all the way up to the tech department, so it was very widespread. We did a SWOT analysis to find the strengths and the weaknesses and what they have right now and what our solutions would be. We also made empathy maps, which are hanging up on the windows. This put us in the shoes of patients who have MyChart and the providers who use MyChart. And then finally, we did a sticky note activity where we each spent 10 minutes brainstorming all of our solutions, which caused us to all come together to figure out the solutions that we have today.
This is a SWOT analysis of the current MyChart plan. So the strengths this provides us with are MyChart champions. There are currently MyChart champions. Along with this, there's also pamphlets, and it is briefly mentioned in patients and visits. However, along with this, there are some weaknesses. It's unclear, complicated, there's little communication, and it's inconsistent with the messaging across the board to patients. However, the opportunities that this provides us with, we have the chance to become proactive instead of reactive. We can better educate patients, and we can create a healthier community. And the threats we face in creating a solution is linking Spectrum's emphasis on value.
So now we're going to get into our short-term implementations. We say these are short-term because they're the easiest and quickest to do that we could have put into place as of like right now. Our first component would be phone tree. We want to add a message into the phone tree when you call and you have to listen to different numbers. We want to add something similar to this. Did you know that with MyChart you can bypass check-in by answering questions on your phone? All you have to do is show the green check mark and you're able to head straight to your appointment. The reason we decided to go with the green check mark is because we know there's an update coming eventually where you can just answer questions, show the front desk, and head upstairs. So this will encourage people to get the MyChart app and continue to use it.
The second component of our solution is to redesign the pamphlets. Spectrum Health has used 3 different pamphlets during their time with MyChart. 2 of them were used when this building was HealthPoint, which is a partnership between Holland Hospital and Spectrum Health. So these pamphlets are designed for MyHealth, which is the HealthPoint version of MyChart. So the first pamphlet was very informational and shows the values of having a MyHealth to the customer or the patient. And we would like to take this pamphlet and redesign it so that we have a part 1 and a part 2. So this would be like the part 2 of our pamphlets, and it would include all of the values of what you can do with MyChart if you get the app. And it would be placed like throughout the building at different desks so that once patients are signed up for a MyChart account, they can grab this second pamphlet that shows what they can do with the app and how to utilize it to its full potential using a lot of visuals and graphics. And in the white space on the back, we would like to include a QR code like this one right here that is actually active that will take users directly to the sign up screen so that they can either sign up for a MyChart account or they can go directly to the sign in where they will open the MyChart account straight from the pamphlet, and it will allow them to use the values that MyChart has and take them and implement them into their day-to-day lives. And then this was the second pamphlet that was designed, and it briefly lists all the values that MyHealth or MyChart has. And this pamphlet was redesigned so that it could be used for Spectrum Health and MyChart. So it includes all the Spectrum Health and MyChart information. And we hope to redesign this pamphlet, and so instead of including the values, we would make this a how to sign up, so that it shows all of the patients, this is how you get signed up for MyChart, and then they would go and get this second pamphlet that shows all of the values of what they can do after they make an account. So we want this pamphlet to be distributed when it shows up as that they do not have a MyChart account in the files, and so it can be given straight to them and show them how to sign up. And we think that making these changes will not only increase the amount of MyChart users, but it will also change it so that the users that are currently on MyChart know the values of what MyChart does and how that they can best utilize the app to its full potential. And then we also want to improve the information in the after visit summaries as our third component. So this would be a direct resource for patients to look, and it will either encourage them to get a MyChart account or encourage them to visit the one they already have. And we want this section in the after visit summary to include a call to action that says, go visit your after visit summary in MyChart using this link, and then also include a QR code. This will give the patients a direct link to their MyChart account again, and it will encourage people to go on MyChart more and use it after each visit, so they will have a direct call to action saying, open this in MyChart, and it will encourage people to actually utilize their account to its full potential.
The fourth component of our short-term implementation is a how-to video. So it would be a video on how to navigate and just utilize the basics of MyChart. And so although the concept might be cliche, how-to is a bit cliche, it is effective. People like videos, people find videos helpful, and in fact 65% of people are visual learners. And the goal of reaching a wider MyChart audience and finding more utilization is not just reaching some quota. Spectrum genuinely cares about seeing patients benefit from MyChart, and they want patients to receive the benefits that MyChart offers. And this would be extremely beneficial for the older population who heavily rely on videos.
So our fifth component would be to standardize MyChart training, if that be either general staff or more advanced training for our MyChart champions. So therefore they can have the resources and the skills to help out patients who do not know how to get MyChart. Therefore, they can ask questions, lead them to, and even troubleshoot if something happens. Within that, there's also add incentives to help motivate our champions to help out, to do more, and to just help out when they can. Therefore, we can also get more MyChart champions because there's currently not many. Then our sixth component is having a MyChart day. Talking through one of our interviews, talking with Bobby, who is a medical assistant. He talked about maybe having a MyChart day where patients can come in and there can be a booth up front which is led by our champions, so they can go up, ask questions, troubleshoot, and be able to get MyChart without having to be restricted by the time set for their normal appointment.
So our final component of our short-term implementations is to add a slide in the slideshows in all three lobbies. There are TVs for the patients to watch while they're waiting for their appointment. And a slide could look like this to help advertise MyChart. It could say, want all of your healthcare information in the palm of your hand, download the Spectrum Health MyChart app.
So next we went back to our stakeholders. This includes Josh, who said earlier is the Executive Director of Operations here. We brought to him some of our short-term solutions just to figure out what he thought of them and we heard really great feedback that he thought that all these solutions could bring more people in and encourage patients to use MyChart and continue to use it. We also thought of community members like ourselves. One person, for example, Mrs. Heisman, who's a mother with a young child, she shared with us many times that she's used the app to communicate with her provider, just to ask questions about her son and get feedback right away rather than having to wait on the phone and on hold to get her questions answered. Next, we thought of providers. I asked Kevin in our mentor meeting about some of our short-term solutions, and he agreed, just like Josh, that this could encourage more patients to use MyChart, encourage people to sign up, and that they'd be simple and easy to put into place.
The second sector of our solutions we call long-term implementation, mostly because they will take the longest to actually implement into Spectrum Health system. Secondly, they will need like the most outside help from like staff that's not in the building, such as like app developers. And then they will also be the most long-lasting if they are implemented. So first up, we have actual changes to the app. So our first suggestion, a big reason we found why a lot of patients don't actually finish the process of signing up for MyChart is because their doctor, their nurse, their PA will go through the process of signing up with them a little bit, and then they'll get to the point where you get like an email code to like finish the process of signing up, but that disappears after 24 hours, so a lot of people won't finish the process because they forget about it, they don't check their email, and then the hospital marks them down as having it, it's never brought up again, they forget about it, and then they don't have MyChart. So we suggest to fix this, that instead, well, additionally to emails, we get like a text, so it shows up in your notifications, people check their text far more often than emails, so they'll be reminded, and then there will also be like a 48-hour waiting period instead of 28, so they'll have a longer opportunity to actually like finish the process. Second, we want to include a wellness mental health section in the actual app, so optional, people can go in, talk about their day, talk about their mental health, and doctors can monitor it and then give them a referral if they notice something's up. And then we really want to target this this mental health wellness section to especially teenagers, because we all know it to be true that teenagers really struggle with mental health, with recognizing their own mental health and then finding proactive ways to deal with it. So a lot of the times kids don't feel comfortable, they don't want to go to their parents, their counselors, their teachers to talk about mental health because it's someone that we see every day, it's kind of awkward, taboo. So we think it would be very beneficial for high school, middle school age students to have like somewhere where they can go to confidentially talk about mental health with a trained professional who can give them help. So the third on changes to the app is we want to add a feature to virtual doctor's visits where there can be 1 to 2 additional people in your online call. So like elderly parents and their children or parents and their 13 to 17-year-old kids or spouses who are halfway across the country can be in the same call and be like have that same comfortability that they get with in-person visits. And we actually talked with Mr. Trost about this, and he said that it would definitely be feasible. We would have to work with some officials to not violate HIPAA, but we could do it. And then last of all, that little green check mark that Allie was talking about, we want to have an option for little kids, if their parents go on their MyChart and go and do their little daily check-in, it'll be like a little cartoon animal of the day. They can have like a little album to collect all of their stickers. And this will incentivize parents to want to do the online version instead of in person, because their kids will have fun with doing it.
To ensure that our solutions were the best they could be, we ran them through the NUF test, which stands for new, useful, and feasible. By doing this, we were able to come to the conclusion that all of our solutions are new, they are useful, and they will all be somewhat feasible to implement.
So circling back to our driving question, did we technically answer our driving question? No, we answered way beyond that. Our solutions are complex, they cover all the bases, and they're driven. And a big part of what makes the care at Spectrum Health Caregiving Center so special is their focus and emphasis on value. And our solution allows us to create the foundation of healthcare to be at patients' fingertips without losing that value. Along with this, a big a crucial part of project-based learning is implementation and application. And so we are so confident that our plan will succeed that we already have learning users.
Alright, let's see, can I put the QR code in chat?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, any of you can try this on your phone if you want to.
Yeah, and this
It'll
is
work.
the QR code that we want to incorporate throughout all of our pamphlets and after visit summaries and maybe even the slideshow to give patients a direct link to their MyChart sign-in.
You just
to
open up
create
your
an
camera, point it up there, and then it'll open up a link for you.
So this is what we want to incorporate throughout multiple